Here we are, bottom of the Smash Mountain, and today I'm so happy to be joined by gwm420. That's where you can find him on Twitter and also on the sticks at your favorite New England Melee locals and regionals. Jesse, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jesse. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm very excited. I actually listen to the podcast quite a bit on long drives to tournaments. I'll check it out and listen like over 10 at this point.
Very kind of you to say. I appreciate that. And let's talk about Jesse first. As much as I am excited to hear feedback about my own podcast on air, so you have to say nice things, I guess. I do love the fact that you're spelling your name correctly. And I've seen JESSIE fairly frequently. Jay Bobison down here in Lancaster spells it that way, but I don't understand. I think it's just a theory of if your parents say we need a unique name, but then they like Jesse too much. They can't get away from it. They can't go over to all the numbers and symbols that they were thinking, oh, we can name our child after a bunch of numbers and symbols or sunset or something.
Like they do.
But they can make the Jesse super unique, right?
Mm-hmm. JESSY, JESSIYE, JESSI. I mean, you name it. Fun story about, hippie stoner parents in the 70s. My mom wanted to name my sister Summer Rain. That was like, she's like, I want her first name to be Summer and her middle name to be Rain. And my dad was like, absolutely not. He was like, pretty straight edge. He was like, no, like, what? Are you out of your mind? But yeah, Jesse and Cheyenne worked out.
My favorite person who had a really unique name was named River Jordan. His first name was River. And so that's what everybody called him, but his middle name was Jordan. He would explain that. He had to explain it to people because he would say, "Hi, I'm River. It's nice to meet you." And I would go, "Uh-huh." And he would say, "It's after River Jordan. Don't worry about it." And I was just like, "Okay, all right."
I was at real quick. I was at the hand doctor last week, occupational therapist, because it's my occupation, right? Semi-pro gamer.
Oh, you're occupying the hands?
Occupying my hands with, one of these bad Larrys right here. I don't want to whip it out too much, show off the piece on stream, but no. So I was at my occupational therapist and I'm waiting to go inside, right? So I'm just sitting on my phone, and a gentleman walks in and he sits down at the desk and she goes, "Your name?" And he goes, "Young Blood." And I'm like, "No way!" And I crack my head. I look up from my phone and the guy is at least 60. At least 60, big wrinkles, gray hair. He's slumped over in the chair. He's breathing heavy from walking in, type of thing. And he's just like, she's like, "What was that?" And he's like, "Young Blood." I was like, "No way!" And she's like, "Perry?" And he's like, "Yep, that's me." And he just he got up, sat in a different chair, and I was like, "Sir, is your name really Young Blood?" Because I thought that was his first name. I thought it was first name Young Blood, last name Perry, right? And I was like, who the fuck names their kid in the 50s Youngblood?
They were really ahead of their time.
Found out it was the last name spelled out all one word, YOUNGBLOOD. But like, I don't know, I just ended up grilling this guy about his last name being Youngblood. I've never ever, and the craziest part was I was like, is he really Youngblood? Like, I've never heard someone with, no offense to your age, but like have that kind of a unique name like that. And he's like, "Oh, it's the same as Smith and like Lawson and stuff like that." I was like, it is fucking not.
Exactly.
It is absolutely not. But anyway,
that's a fun story. Names are fun. Yes, so we're both named Jesse. We've gotten that out of the way. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me. This has been a little bit of a long time coming. First of all, I knew about you because of a lost interview. I need to tell this story. I was able to have Stock Money on a long time ago before I was using OBS and internet and Discord. Well, no, I was using Discord. I lied. But I did not have the resources that I do now. So I asked Stock Money to record for me, but sadly the interview got lost. But I remember talking to Stock Money about you, and I think I was also talking to Sean about you. They brought you up, both of them separately, saying,
both Sean's.
Get a War Machine is obviously like one of the most hilarious people up here. He's so cool. He's obviously a great player as well, but you don't want Get a War Machine talking about you or to you while you're up on the stage playing. You do not want that to happen. Mm-hmm. You'll just be in trouble. You'll do something stupid while everybody's watching, and it'll be Jesse in the back saying something first.
I I was raised on hype. I started in 2013. I started as a Brawl kid playing Brawl with my brother. So basically, what happened was I was an annoying young kid. My brother would play Brawl with his friends. He's 5 years older than me. So I was like 13 or 14, and he was playing Brawl with his, 17, 18-year-old, almost graduated high school at this point. And I really wanted to play. They would never let me because I was so annoying, obviously. Uh, big brother, little brother stuff.
Oh yeah, I get that. I have a brother 5 years younger than me too.
Yeah, so you absolutely get that then.
Yeah.
And he one night comes up to me. I'm playing Counter-Strike Source in my room. I'm surfing, just doing the thing. And he goes, "There is a Brawl tournament at the comic book store 20 minutes away tomorrow at 3 p.m. Do you want to play with me in Brawl all night? Get good at this game. Go and try and win this tournament." And I was like, that sounds sick. Like, let's play video games. Like Big Brother validation. Like, we're
Yeah.
gonna hang out. I get to go into the basement where your room is. Like, are you serious? Like, oh my god, I'm down. So we played Brawl for probably 10 hours straight that night. He came up to my room at like 7 p.m. We played until 5 or 6 in the morning, slept until noon, got up, and then went to this tournament. And I got second. So it was weird. It was a 9-person Swiss. So it wasn't a real double elimination, wasn't even a round robin. So the pairings were very odd. They were setting it up because it was a card shop. It was set up for like Magic players, and they had never run a Smash tournament before. And so we just did Swiss. I never actually had to play my brother, but I had to play his friend, who was like really good. He played Sheik. I
Oh,
played
well, I
Fox.
already know how that's gonna end.
Yeah. I played Fox though. I right from the get go. I'm still a Fox main 8 years later to this day because I played Fox for 10 hours straight one night in Brawl. Like, and that was it. That was the decider.
Yeah, Fox is a good character in Brawl.
Fox is he's all right. I figured out that down air clanked into up smash, not clanked, but like connected into up smash. If they're really bad, it was sick. Anyway, so I end up outplacing my brother at this tournament, and you can ask him now. He doesn't believe it, but I outplaced him at this tournament. We both lost to this Game and Watch player that was a year older than me. His name was GIF, and he soon became like the next step on the pantheon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I started out at base level. I know nothing. I play with my brother for 10 hours straight. He tells me all about his friend group and the hierarchy that they have. I get to the near top of the hierarchy. I outplaced Josh at the tournament and I beat his friend. And now there's this new threat that has just bodied us. So what do I do? Instead of going, okay, that was fun, like back to playing Counter-Strike, I'm like, what's up with this? Like, let's play more. Like, I want to keep playing. Why are we not playing more? Because, my brother he wasn't as competitive as I was. He thought the tournament would just be fun.
He thought.
Yeah, he thought, right? So he thought it'd be fun. And
but it gets real.
Toria,
But GIF sees you. He sees a player who's hungry, who's wanting to go all night again.
And I'll say this: GIF he did not hold back on letting us know how much better he was. He did not hold back on going, I could beat you with any character. Oh, do you want to play Melee? I could beat you in that game too. You want to play 64? I could beat you in that game. So it slowly became like, or I'm sorry, very quickly became like like you want to, this is how you want to bang. You want to bang like this. Okay. So I started playing Brawl more, and then I was at that comic book store because it was close to my high school, and I played Magic the Gathering so before I played Melee, I played Magic competitively for a couple years. I went to tournaments with my dad, big, like regional sized tournaments. They were called like Pro Tour, not Pro Tour qualifiers, but Grand Prix and SCG Opens, Star City Game Opens. There was one in Worcester. I remember that I went. Anyway, so I was pretty competitive already, and I was hanging out at the card shop, and they go, have you played Melee before? Because I was just messing around with Brawl again. And I'm like, no, I don't really know what that is. What is that? I didn't really have a GameCube growing up. I swear to God, dude, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I had no idea what Melee was. I didn't know anything about it. I only knew Brawl because I had only seen my brother play. I kind of knew 64 because, you know, everybody knows 64. So he goes, all right, like, let me help you set it up. We set up Melee. I'm on a LCD screen. I'm sitting behind a table, probably like 50 feet back, like super far. And I play Captain Falcon versus Peach on Yoshi's Story. It's the standard. There's no memory card in, so it's 2 minutes time, 2 minutes stockless. So you just keep going.
Right, time match. Yeah.
Just based.
Incredibly based. That's such a base match setup.
I played for probably 45 seconds, maybe less than that, before I paused it and put the controller down and said, this game sucks. It's way too fast. I don't like it. This is stupid. Like, this literally, like, this game fucking sucks.
Classic.
Like, no way. Why would I play this when Brawl is a thing? Like, look, Meta Knight's in that game. This game has less characters. Like, why would I play it?
You see the Cracker Barrel launcher? That's pretty cool. Is that in Melee?
That's Diddy Kong. I love bananas, dude.
Snake, I love that guy.
Yeah, I loved Snake too. So that's why I was like, if I didn't play Fox, I would play Snake. Snake's so slow in Brawl.
Not the up tilt though. Sorry, go ahead.
Not the up tilt. No, you're totally good. So it was funny because I said that, and the store owner at the time, Chris, he still runs that comic book store, and I was there on Saturday at a Melee tournament 8 years later, talking to him about Melee 8 years later, and he just started laughing at me. He goes, "That's so funny because that's like Melee's the game that has the real competitive scene." He's like, "Brawl's the laughing stock of the Smash community." Like, and he wasn't even. He's like, "I'm not trying to like talk smack about your game because I know you like that game, but like." I just think that's funny that's because it's like, you know, obviously the most ridiculous thing ever. This game's too fast. Like, there's less characters. It's stupid. Like, I think that reasoning alone is pretty like scrubby. So, after that, I actually was okay. So I was playing Magic. I was on the wrestling team at my high school and at my middle school. So when I was middle school into high school, I met my good friend, lifetime partner, buddy at this point. Why would I say partner? Lifetime compadre at this point, not partner, not sexually related at all.
Right, sure. No, it's I understand
nothing.
what you're saying.
Absolutely
now.
not. Nope, nope. I'm the opposite of. Okay. Anyway, so we were on the wrestling team together, same weight class. We were wrestling, had to practice a lot together, so we became friends. On Twitter, I made a Twitter freshman year of high school. I see his Twitter talking about Smash, just something about Smash, period. And something, I think, because him and his buddies had been playing PM beforehand, and we'll get into that. And so I saw Smash. I was like, holy shit. Melee, I had remembered. I had kind of, you know, dipped out of Brawl at this point, but my brother, because again, my brother wasn't really competitive. They didn't host any more Brawl tournaments. Brawl was a pretty dead game. So I went back to doing my thing, wrestling, Smash. I look up Smash on YouTube, find the documentary. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing in one night. I was up until 6 a.m. I slept for 45 minutes, and then I got on my bus and went to school. Next day, I'm talking to Raph at practice for, you know, a bit about this documentary. I send him a link to it, everything. And he goes, dude, this is fucking crazy. I play this game called Project M that's a lot like this at my house with my buddy Nate. For those of you that know, PM 2.7, this was when Roy and Mewtwo had just gotten added to PM. This wasn't even, I don't think this was 3.0 yet, because I remember seeing the new above both of their names. So those guys had just gotten added. So this is like old PM. And we played PM. He's like, do you want to come over after practice and just play PM? Do you want to play with us? Sure. We go over and they're sick. They understand L canceling and you know, like they know neutral to a degree.
Right, and they're not just running in. They know how to use shield. Like, that's the new player thing. They don't know how to do anything but move towards another person, and they don't know what shield is. They're like, what's shield?
They can recover. they can get back onto the stage. That's like a huge thing, that once you realize that someone can get back onto the stage after getting hit, you're like, oh shit, so you have played this game before. Okay.
Do you know how to up B? It's like up on the control
Teaching my
stick.
girlfriend how to up B, dude. Oh my god. Teaching my girlfriend how to up B was the most wholesome thing I think I could have ever done. And so we play PM. We watch the documentary. So I've watched it twice at this point. We watch all of it. Me and my buddy Raph. So we were in a basement called the Den. We called it the Nexus, the Den. It was where we hosted all of our LAN stuff. We would bring all of our computers there and set up on the walls and just play all night.
I love it.
Because I slowly this became like my tight group of friends through Smash, because I showed them the documentary and they're like, this looks sick. Like, let's play Melee and let's get sick at it. Like, let's get really sick at it. We were all like, we all had that mentality of like, all right, let's do it. Grind time. We're in high school. Like, we're not doing anything else. Let's just play Melee against each other all day, every day after school. Shouts to my cat, Margot.
Aww.
Being very sweet. Margot.
There's a cat. For those who are listening to the audio version of this podcast, this is one reason why you should go on YouTube and look up Bottom of the Smash Mountain on YouTube to get Margot in your life, who's such a beautiful kitty cat. Oh my gosh. Oh, so sweet.
A good girl.
Oh, I love cats. I love cats so much, but I'm actually allergic. So even though I love cats more than just about any animal, I can't like have one close to me in my life. Yeah. It's like,
are you allergic to dogs?
No, not really. I'm like, it's cat dander, literally. It's like Lady Hawk, which is an old 1980 something movie. But anyway, go ahead. You're closely becoming more tight knit with the bros in high school, and you're just playing Melee because of the documentary.
It's sick. It's sick because it's the coolest thing ever.
The coolest.
Because because it brought us together. It was so sick. So here's why it was so sick. For me, it was so sick because I didn't have a tight-knit group of friends like that wanted to hang out every day and grind the same thing, that thought the same way I did. I had friends that had similar interests. Oh, we joked about the same stuff. Maybe we played the same game on our computers, but like it wasn't like a scheduled, like every day, like this is our fucking life now. Melee became that. It was PM and Melee. We played both. We had big fests all the time. We started hosting SSS. Me and Raph and Alma, all three of us started hosting SSS in early 2014, and it's been running since then. And it's been a monthly tournament. We've missed maybe like less than 5 or 10 total in 8 years of running tournaments, which is bonkers.
Respectable. Yeah, more than respectable. That's awesome.
Just trying to keep the scene alive. We saw the opportunity with the card shop. We saw what it did for us, because to go back to my previous point, it's so sick because it brought us together. Yeah. I didn't have that tight knit group, and now I have that tight knit group of people who I can consider like I would take a bullet for them. Like I had never felt that way about somebody before, other than family, right? Like I would truthfully, like easily take a bullet for any of these people that I had spent so much time with just over this one game. And it was this one game that brought us together. This one game that was so special, that kept us all involved. Endless entertainment for years, endless years of jokes, of being able to like look back on pictures, on memories, on tournaments, on fests, on anything, on a combo. I could do an up tilt to one of my friends and they would be able to start laughing just because of some joke we said 6 years ago about Falco up tilt. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else that I have not found anything else in life that has been able to give me like that kind of lasting memory and that kind of like impression, especially on a growing youth, right? Unbelievable how good this game is. So we're getting good. We're getting nice with it. We are getting sick. I'm talking somebody gloom shot that. Where's the shadow play? Oh my god. What was the old clip? Odd shot. Someone odd shot that. That's what it was. Someone odd shot that. Not gloom shot. Gloom shot came 16 or 17. That was Gloom. Do you know what Gloomshot is? Gloomshot's the like daily upload bot.
No, I do not know Gloomshot.
Gloomshot is like a daily upload, daily melee highlights upload bot that came in like 2017 or 2018. It was pretty controversial when it came out because primarily from VG Bootcamp and a lot of other streamers too, people tend to not care as much nowadays. But I think it's because it's all the clips are posted to. They take the clips from a subreddit now as opposed to just from straight up Twitch. They were taking clips from like VG Bootcamp or whatever without permission and then uploading it to YouTube and then monetizing the videos and then making money off of other people's content, which is like and he was literally like, I run a script to do this so I don't have to do anything manually at all. I made a script one time and it does all of this for me every day.
That's incredible.
Makes money off of it, right? Which was like, again, respect the hustle, but it's other people's content. So,
yes, very true. Very true.
Weigh the scales. Anyway, we're getting nice with it. We're going to tournaments. We go to, and this is primarily for the old New England heads, or like just New England heads, period, right? Or anybody in the Northeast that kind of knows Smashing Grounds, formerly Game Universe, Game Underground, the Mass Madness hosting venue, like the oldest living venue in New England, I think, in terms of like melee tournaments. We went, me and Raph left school early, and this is the point that we were at. When I say we're getting nice, I mean like we are leaving school at 11:30 a.m., like skipping classes to go to a tournament early or go to a buddy's house and grind before a tournament, or do whatever degenerate shit. Like, in hindsight, I would not have traded it for the world, because I am who I am today because of all of the experiences I've gotten through Melee. And I think through Melee kind of alone has been able to like really mature me as a person. Obviously, maybe not everything, but I almost did not graduate high school because I would just skip class. I would just skip classes and play Melee. I would text my buddies, yo, let's ditch. I couldn't even drive at that point. I mean, I eventually, was just skipping on my own to just go home and play Melee. But
let's go.
It was, if it wasn't every single day after school, it was every single day leaving school early, like playing Melee, getting detention, all Fs, then playing catch up for 2 months, no Melee, just playing catch up at the very end of the semester, whatever. Toxic, but again, wouldn't trade it for anything in the world because I am where I am now because of Melee. Thank you for that.
It's called the gamer gene. When you absolutely have to, you get everything that you need to done.
You clutch box.
Yes.
Yeah, you just fucking clutch box it. Anyway, so we're getting nice. We go to the first Smashing Ground. Me and Raph get 4th in Project M teams. We both go 1 and 2. We get destroyed. And then from there, it's every Thursday. Every fucking Thursday, we leave early. We go to Smashing Grounds. We play more PM. We grind this game. And so from 2014 till, I want to say, probably it was roughly around 2016, 2015. Yeah, 2016 that we played, again, all day, all the time. Raph had graduated from high school in 2014. At the end of 2014, he went to college. Alma went to school as well, but we all went a separate route. So they were 2 years older than me. They graduated. Raph went to UNH, which was further north. Alma went to Montserrat College of Art, which is in Beverly, Mass. I was still in high school. I was a sophomore when they graduated, became a junior as they were going to college. Raph kind of played at college. Alma didn't at all. I was still at school. Or I was still at high school. So I didn't have my homies to play with.
Yep.
But I had NetPlay, and I had, and you might know who this is, Glock in my Toyota.
Yes, I've heard that name before.
I had attained a certain Nick Marcus at sophomore year. I went into my Latin room, and I was just going in there to mess with my Latin teacher. Good guy, Mr. Champany, shout outs. And I see Nick Marcus in there. And fun fact about Nick Marcus, he was at the Brawl tournament that I had told you about earlier, that first brawl tournament with Gifford.
The
I told you
9
about.
people. He's
Yeah,
there.
at the 9 people, he was one of them, but he was literally like 11. So I didn't know his face, didn't recognize him like that much. So when I see him in this Latin room, I go, "Hey, you played Brawl?" He's like, "Yeah, I did. And I played a lot of it. And I played a lot of it. And I was good. And I'm good now." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." I'm like, "Do you like Melee at all?" He's like, "I love watching Melee, but I have never gotten to play it really." And I had a car at this point. I had just gotten my license sophomore year. And I was like, "How about this? You're 15 minutes away from my house. How about I drive you home from school? We drop off your stuff. We go to my house. We play Melee for a couple hours." And he's like, "That sounds amazing." He's like, here's the number for my iPod. I'll text you. I'll text you when I have Wi-Fi by the office later." I was like,
Oh,
perfect, bro. That
that's
sounds so
awesome.
sick.
That's
Because he
awesome.
didn't get a phone until he was like 16 or something. He was 14 at the time. And so Raph and Alma had kind of dispersed. I had Nick Marcus now. Where should I go from here? Let's go back to GIF. Let's go back to GIF for a quick second. I finally got to have my revenge on GIF. When I said we were getting nice, I meant it. We were getting nice. GIF was only a year older than me, like I had said. GIF was a real nice guy. He was a real tight homie. Other than the shit talk, that fueled the fuck out of me. But it really did. It's like I was upset in the moment, but I realized how much it fueled me as a person, and I was like, I respect that. Like, I'm into it. And that's, I would say that tournament, getting talked to like that, is why I'm why, what you had said earlier, don't play on stage when I'm there. Obviously, I'm not going to harass every single person, but I'm a loud guy. I think I can add a couple bits of witty humor to a crowd to lighten everybody up, because at a tournament tensions can be high. And I think that good smack talk is very, very crucial for character development. If you don't, if everybody is as soft as if no one ever shit talks and everyone is super respectful, that's great, I guess. Perfect world. But let's be humans for a second. I think that the character development that is built from talking shit is easily more valuable than saying nothing and just being respectful, because you can talk shit to somebody and then know that they have to earn that respect back, because again, it's earned, not given. Kind of, if you just give your respect to everybody, they abuse it. When they earn your respect, then it's a much stronger bond of respect. If I talk smack to you and I beat your ass 3-0, and then you come back next week and you beat me 3-1 or 3-0 or something, I immediately have a newfound level of respect, right? Even if I'm a little bit upset at myself, maybe I didn't play good. Hey, fuck it. Maybe you didn't play good the first time, right?
Right.
But now we have to come to an agreement or come to terms with, we smack talk each other. We both backed it up a little bit, and now we're just playing this game of going back and forth. I respect you, you respect me. Even if you don't respect me, I respect you because I talked smack and I lost afterwards. I couldn't hold my end. I have to keep my shit clean. I'm going to do that, right? So that forces respect. But I'm going off on a tangent here, I know.
You're fine. I think what I like hearing from your perspective on that is how there is a certain amount of people who are going to find that too abrasive and it'll kind of shut them down. But there are people like you, Jesse, where you'll hear it and it'll instantly motivate you. It'll actually be ultimately probably the better thing to happen to you as compared to being like, oh, it's okay. I know you're new. It's fine. Like, you just keep playing. You'll get better. I mean, having somebody who's older than you, just slightly older, where you're reminded that you have an older brother, right? I think that ties into it. I have older brothers, so I was saying that I have a younger brother. He's 5 years younger than me. I have brothers that are 5 years older than me, and I'll go, I do not like losing. Like, that's the memory that I have of playing Smash 64 against computers by myself, because
Yep.
I could not beat my brothers, either of them, in 64, because that was the only console we had. We did not have Melee, so I didn't know Melee existed yet. But I loved the game. But I hated the fact that I couldn't beat my two older brothers. So they would, they'd let me know. They're like, you're little, you're younger than us, you have small hands, you don't understand
Small
what's going
hands.
on. They're like,
You have small hands.
they're like, Jesse, you just suck at this, and
Your hands are just too small, dude. Sorry.
they're just like telling me all these things, and they're just saying it to rub it in. They're like, we're just better than you, and I was like, I'll show you. So I eventually got to that point where I learned how to roll. They did not know
Yup.
how to roll. They only knew how to shield, and shield stun is super bad once you start to rely on it too much in 64.
64. Yep.
Yep. And then it started to turn around a little bit, and then I understood.
Development. You adapt.
Yes, then I understood. I looked up Z canceling because I saw Z canceling in some video or facts, like Game Facts website or other. I looked it up and I was going like, oh, and then you just learned that actually aerial attacks are like super great and are low committal. You don't have to always be on the ground doing your forward tilt, because that's bad.
And
That's
dash
like
attacking.
really bad. And
Constantly
dash attacking.
dash attacking.
Also grab a lot.
Yup. In 64, oh my god.
Super
Grab
broken.
every single time.
Super broken. So I understand what you're saying, because like that motivated me to get better, as compared to them being like nice about it. It probably would have just made me happy to be accepted just straight up, but it wouldn't have earned it. I think the feeling's sweeter.
I agree. And I realized that I know now where to go back for our tangent, or where I veered off. We're at Gift's house. Gift has a big party. Gift's got real rich parents. Gift's got a nice place. Real nice. Parents are out of town for the weekend. Hey, let's have 40, 50 people over. We're all underage. Some of us are of age, but not a lot. I'm there with my father, and I haven't brought this up yet. And this isn't my biological father. This is my Melee father, Taylor Rosati, aka Mort. Those who know. Those who don't know will never know. Mort is single-handedly probably the greatest player, aside from Mango and Armada, that I have ever seen grace the sticks in terms of raw talent in neutral and knowing how to obliterate an opponent for their habits very quickly. What I mean by that, Taylor, okay, so Taylor never entered tournaments. Taylor was just not a competitive guy, but he was disgusting. And that's how he is with every game, and still is like that today. He's a year older than me. I've known him since I was in like 5th grade. He's known my sister forever too. Family guy. And he's just filthy at every game. So we're playing Melee. So I figure out about the documentary. I meet up with all the bros. When I'm not with the bros, Taylor Rosati comes over sometimes, and he just teaches me like neutral stuff. I learn tech when I'm with the bros, and when I'm with Taylor, I learn about neutral and like history, kind of, because he's been around for a while. He knew about net play and stuff way back when they were doing like Hitachi servers or something.
I haven't even heard of that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
It was a long time ago. That could be misinformation. Hitachi servers, that doesn't. I feel like I know Hitachi servers are a thing, but I feel like that was never a thing for Melee. I feel like I'm thinking of like Dolphin 4.0 builds or something. Anyway, he told me about a time that he played against Kage the Warrior on netplay.
Oh, K-word.
And yeah, K-word. Yep. And he said that he had some even games with K-word, and he said that he had no aspirations in Melee, 0, but to one day meet Kage in person and to body him in person. Like it was
to go after K-word.
It was fucking crazy. It was the most insane. Like, you probably aren't a big anime guy, are you?
Not super big. I've only watched like maybe 3.
There's Hunter x Hunter, big show.
You mean Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah, it's Yes, Hunter x Hunter.
I've
It's
watched about
heard
half
both.
the episodes.
Okay. There is a scene. Have you seen where, and this is spoilers, I'm sorry for people, it's been out for like 10 years, at least 20 years. You know, it's like if I spoiled Batman Dark Knight for you or something. You know, shut up. Hisoka has this insane energy in the heavens arena when Gon and Killua are on like the 100th floor or whatever, and they're walking through the hallway, and then Hisoka has this like aura that like just they can feel it on their skin, and it's all over their body, and it's like booming through this hallway, and it's like his overpowering like aura that he's emitting. It's Nen energy, he would call it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
That was how I felt when Taylor said he wanted to destroy Kage. I was Gon in Killua, not knowing anything about anything, and Taylor Rosati's Hisoka just to himself and to me, just like fucking, I will destroy Kage one day. Like, I have no aspirations other than to one day destroy Kage. And it's like, dude, I'm fucking 14, man. Like, I'm 15, 14. Like, I am not ready for this kind of anger and hatred for, you know, and vengeance. God. And so he doesn't play in any tournaments. He'll come and hang out sometimes, but he was always, you know, he would destroy us all when he wanted to, but he never took the game too serious, and it was always a pleasure to see him. Like, sometimes we would go to tournaments and he'd go, yo, I'm gonna enter amateur bracket, like watch my matches, and we would be like, oh, okay, Taylor, okay, like let's see it. And then he would just, you know, 8-stock, whoever he played, like combo, like filthy stuff for 2015, 2014. One day, there's a post in New England Melee. Hey, all. Vermont, some guy from Vermont here. I don't remember who. Vermont guy here. We're hosting a tournament. Kage's going to be there. $300 pop bonus. Queen City Melee, $10 entry.
Ooh.
Why don't you guys show up, right? Show up, come play Canada. It's Vermont, right? It's the middle point between New England and Canada.
Sure. Yeah, the top of Vermont borders with Canada, doesn't it?
It does. So does New Hampshire.
How about that? I've been once or twice. Go ahead.
Taylor would never, like, anytime we tried to get him to come to a tournament that was more than like 25 minutes away, he was like, nah, I'm not interested. Nah, not really. That's too far. This tournament was 4 hours. Plus, we were staying an extra night at somebody's house. We were staying at TN's house. Shouts to TN getting his ass slapped to the moon by Tev. $1,000 money match. You know that guy? Anyway. He goes, Kage's going to be there? And I go, yeah. He goes, I'll think about it. And I go, holy shit. He didn't say no right away. Like, oh my God. He texts me like a couple minutes later. He goes, yeah, I'm in. I'm down. When do we leave? Like, he's like, when do you want to play? Like, do you want to play beforehand? Like, when do we leave? Like, I'll sign up for the tournament. Like, let's go. Do you want to do teams? Like, he's so, like, immediately. Like, this guy went from being the rogue sage in our entire world
The hermit.
to being the hermit, to being the turtle hermit sage Jiraiya god from another dimension. Yeah, just to being this like die-hard competitor who is like ready to fucking just absolutely ascend into the next level. So we show up, we grind. I see Kage in the venue. I see Taylor in the venue. I go, Taylor, go take that setup right there. I got you. I'm the people person, so I'll go talk. I go up to Kage. I go, Rustain, I knew his name because we were friends on Facebook before I even met him at this point. That's how like Melee Facebook was. I was friends with Prague, Mango, and Armada before I was friends with my mom on Facebook. That is not a lie. I made a Facebook and did not friend my mom, and I friended Mango, Armada, and Prague before I friended my mom. So I knew who he was. He didn't know who I was. He kind of did, but like whatever. He just knew like James, whatever.
So, Jason, that's a popular
Jason
one.
James, yeah. Jared. So I go, Rustain, I have a very special request. I have a friend here who is like no other, and he would like to play some games with you, if that's all right. Taylor, he decided on the way there that he didn't want to do singles. He's like, I'm just gonna play him in friendlies or a money match or something. I'll see if I can throw like $100 on it. Just like, and again, that was big money back then. The Tafikins money match had happened. That was $1,000, and that was crazy. But like for a random dude to go, I'm gonna go and like probably $100, maybe $200 money match this top 40 player at the time. Kage was really good back then.
Yeah.
So I go, can we please play some games, Rustain? Can you just please play some games with my friend here? And he goes, yeah, you want to play some games? Yeah, play some games. So they sit down, and I have never seen someone be so focused in my entire life, ever. Ever. I've never seen such stillness, such concentration, such Bushido warrior mentality. Do not win, do not lose, play. That mentality embodied into two eyes staring at a CRT in wherever we are, Vermont.
It's the Green Mountain State. We get it.
Vermont. I mean, yeah, I'm surrounded by trees and hills. That's it. Anyway, they sit down and they play for 6 games straight. Taylor is at minimum 2-stocking. At minimum 2-stocking him. Literally, it is like it starts off game on battlefield, 0 to death. Taylor gets the first kill.
Who's
then
Taylor
immediately
playing, first of all?
They're Ganon players. They're both Ganon players. Oh, I never said that, did I?
Because
Taylor's
I'm like
a Ganondorf
so
main.
confused why Taylor's like focusing super hard on
He's
Kage.
a Ganondorf main. I'm so sorry. I should have said that earlier. I thought I did. He was a Ganondorf and Captain Falcon player. I'll give you a perspective on Taylor. Taylor was such a hermit that he thought SFOT, like SFAT, he said SFOT. He thought SFOT was an Ice Climbers player. Because I was like, and I had known who SFAT was. I was like, dude, no. I was like, Fly Amanita is like the only ice climber. I was like, maybe Wobbles. He's like, no Wobbles. Anyway, 6 games of domination, like just raw destruction. And after the first 2 stocks on Battlefield Game 1, Kage, I remember, looked at me and was like, who is this? Like what the hell is happening right now? Like, whoa. I don't know you. I don't know who you are at all. Why are you destroying me? So, they do the top player thing. Sit up there a little bit, like, oh, it's fine, whatever. Sip of water, like, tighten up the controls. Maybe I rub my eyes or my forehead. Oh, long drive, whatever. Keeps getting bodied. Keeps getting bodied. And then Taylor, after the 6th game of winning straight, gets up, unplugs, and goes, good games, thanks for playing, and then just walks out. That was it. Literally just goes, good games, thanks for playing, and just fucking fist bumps, gets up, walks away. And I remember I was looking at him, just Kage is literally in his chair, just game playing, stone frozen. I have multiple people who could back me up on G-Town Tom. You know him. You've interviewed with him. Thomas Lavin. He drove us to that tournament. Michael Tien was at that. I believe Nick Marcus, Glock in My Toyota, was also at that tournament. If not Glock in My Toyota, then infinite numbers. That tournament. But I mean, just that alone was filthy, right? Just that alone is like, that's such a legendary tale that no one knows. There's like 5, maybe 6 people total that know that story true, like that know that really happened and were there and can validate that happened.
Including yourself.
Including myself. Yeah, there was the car ride. We talked about it. There was like 1 or 2 other people in the room. I think they're on a different setup, but after they had seen, like, after I was audibly gasping multiple times a game, they stopped playing their friendlies. That, I mean, can you think of a more suitable person to solidify as your father of a melee, like of my melee career? I'm sorry, I should rephrase this. There is no one else that I would want to have be my father of melee than Taylor Rosati. And I know at least 5 people that feel the exact same way, that he is GOAT. know. I looked at the clock. It's 8:50. I can't even believe it's already almost been an hour, and all I've talked about is Taylor Rosati and talking shit. It's crazy.
You're doing
it's funny
fine on time. I want to be respectful of your time, but I'm doing fine over here.
Yeah, I'm chilling. Was there anything else that yeah, because I can end the Taylor saga right there. Was there anything else that you kind of wanted to touch on?
You're in Gift's house with your Smash father Taylor.
Fucking tangents. Hang on. Gift's house with my Smash father Taylor. Party, 30, 40, 50 people deep. I'm dorky high school guy who plays Melee all the time. I don't give a fuck more. I used to care about what these people thought, and now I just don't care. There's a Melee setup at Gift's house, or I'm sorry, a PM setup at Gift's house. Let's play PM. Oh, that sounds great. Gift likes PM now. Times have changed. We've evolved, right? He's into PM. We all evolved through Smash. This is great. This is so sick. Me, Taylor Rosati, Gift, honestly. Taylor knows my vengeance that I have to have with Gift. This is before his vengeance with Kage, but we had both known. It was like he tells me about his, I tell him about mine in that. That's how it kind of builds as like, oh, okay, so that's what vengeance is. That's what I want. He goes, I'll sit out first. I go, thank you, Taylor. Plug in, we play. Fox versus Game & Watch, and I 4-stock him so goddamn fast. So goddamn fast. And again, this is like 30 or 40 people are at this house, spread out throughout the house. So there's like 15 people behind us watching. We are in the center of his living room. His main house TV is a giant CRT. They didn't have a big flat screen yet in their living room. They had a giant CRT.
A 3-car garage, but no flat screen. That's incredible.
I know, well, they had. Here's the crazy part: is because the parents were never in the living room. They had a giant flat screen in their room. I saw it, but they were like, "Oh, we're never in the living room. Really, it's a decorative piece." They were like, "Whatever, whatever. We'll get a big TV when the time comes." But until then, they were like, "Big CRT is fine." So we're playing, and I remember hearing someone behind me go, "How the fuck are your hands moving like that right now?" And I had no other feelings other than like pure euphoria when I am absolutely decimating the pantheon that I had looked up to so highly. I was at the bottom of Smash Mountain, Jesse. I was at the bottom. And when I had beaten Gift in that moment, with my boys surrounding me, with the pure spirit of Melee being there, embodied all around me, I felt nothing but pure euphoria, feeling like I was at the top of Smash Mountain.
You're flying.
I'm flying. Dude, I can fly. It's so fucking crazy. Look at how high I can jump, dude. Oh my God. So I'm murdering it. Game after game after game. We end up being in the rotation. We're playing rotation. Boy, game after game after game. And he just gets up and he goes, "You're too good for me, man. I can't play with you anymore." And I just... You the fucking gabagoo. Yeah. It is what this game is all about. It is everything. I'm getting such hard goosebumps right now thinking about this. It is everything that this game was made for me, in my eyes. It is having a goal. It is being at the bottom, getting crapped on, realizing where you're at, seeing that next level, that pantheon, seeing that thing at the top of the hill of the gods, and going, I want to be there. Working your way there, getting there, even though it's fun the whole time. All you're doing is learning. It's just a desire. It's just you want to do it. It's something about the fucking game makes you want to do it. And then you get there. Oh, I'm just getting chills like crazy. And then you get there. And then you go, what's next? Well, you realize when you're at the top of Smash Mountain inside of Gift's house, when you crossfaded at 17 years old, and you go to a tournament a couple days later, and you get 17th out of like 25 entrants. Oh, baby, there's a whole nother pantheon to climb? Oh, there's more than one? There's levels to this? I get to go as long as I want, as hard as I want, to get to the point that I want to get at? It's the most addicting thing. It's the most intoxicating thing, a good Melee session. It's the most rewarding thing to accomplish a goal that you have in Melee. It's the most strenuous thing when you lose in a bracket in an unfortunate way, or you don't perform to how you want to. It is the most heartbreaking thing when your efforts, you've tried and tried and tried again, and it doesn't seem to be working. But the beautiful part is that it's a marathon, not a race. That's what I've realized in 8 years. You can be Leffen and become a god in 5, or IBDW and become a god in 5 if you really want to sell your fucking soul. But if you want to be able to keep your sanity, enjoy the ride, get sick at Melee, all you have to do is play. Literally, you can't not get sick at Melee by playing it. Literally, you have no choice but to get better at Melee. When you play Melee, you have no choice but to get better. Literally zero. Because no matter what, you're practicing something. You're moving the stick. The stick feels a little bit better this time. Oh, the buttons feel a little bit better this time. Oh, actually, if I hit my L spring like this, it actually feels really nice. I think I'm going to do that. And then that slowly ascends to, ooh, you know what? I think I'm going to try and Waveland here. Ooh, a late aerial? Yeah, shine grab. I'm into it.
Falco up tilt.
Okay, so like I'm saying, sorry about that. It is everything that I could have ever asked for and more in a game, in a community, in a way to build my personal character, in a way to build my relationships, in a way to build my prospects as an individual. Melee really, like, we've only done an hour. I told you about like 3 things. I could go into 1,000 commentary gigs. I could go into the Arcadian. I could go into my growth as a player. Like, I haven't even talked about myself really as a player yet. I mean, I've done some good shit. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm not terrible anymore. I'm definitely at a way higher level than I was when I was getting 17th at that local after Gift's house. I'll tell you that much. Melee is the only thing that makes me feel as giddy as I do right now.
And there's so much more Melee to be played.
And there's so much more. And there's so much more Melee to be watched and to analyze and to think about and to dream about. Combos to dream about. Combos to think about. Oh! I tried writing a Fox matchup guide notebook. I had a notebook, like a physical notebook that I tried to fill out cover to cover with Fox, like matchup specific tips. I got 2 pages in and my hand started to cramp, and so I put the book down and I never picked it back up. And then I realized that's how I knew I was a Fox player until I died. It's because my fucking hand cramped trying to write out a guide for the character. That's how I knew I was a Fox main until the day I died.
So you're going to be playing on the box intermittently or permanently moving forward? You mentioned that briefly. You're doing hand therapy stuff.
I do. I've been playing Nick All-Stars. That's been fun. A lot of fun, actually. I've been having a lot. My Nigels and I've been using a controller for that because the box layout is a little iffy. Oh, shouts to Margot. Loafing it up in the corner right there. That is one damn good kitty cat. Jeez. Anyway, excuse me. God, I'm vulgar, man.
It's not really that big of a deal. What I'm wondering is, how the hell did Patty not get you on the Austin Melee podcast?
Yeah, I asked him because I actually, I had to reach out to him about it. I don't know. He's had like 4 different people be repeat guests. I think Patty might be. I think Patty. I love Patty to death. I'd take it. Patty's one of those people that I would absolutely take a bullet for. I think Patty low-key hates me. I'm kidding, obviously. Much love to Patty. Much love to Alston Melee. I love those guys so much. I've seen them a lot in the past couple of weeks too. So, he said that he wants to do it. I reached out to him about doing it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm down. You're probably gonna have to like stay the night here." And I'm like, "That's fine. That's no problem." But we haven't. I brought it up. He was like, "Yeah, I'm down," and then that was the end of it. We haven't really talked about it much since then. So maybe if
audition tape.
we get
this is the
the audition tape or yeah, audition tape.
No, I think maybe something that I'll tell you for being in more of a group setting is that you can't take your time. See, I am trying to give you the space that you need to tell your stories because I think that you tell it better than I can, and me like springing in with comments frequently is not going to really help. But if there's like 3 other people on the couch who are all like just kind of waiting for you to be done, I think that might be part of it. That's my guess. I think that I think that you tell great stories, and so that we don't want to hold you back from that. So no one should be telling you to be anything less than the beautiful man that you are. I also think that there's a group dynamic concern, maybe. That's my own guess.
Dynamic concern? Like too many cooks in one kitchen type of thing, right?
The
we
chemistry,
have too many color commentators.
Mm-hmm. There's too much spice. There's not enough. I don't know.
There's not enough tech. There's not enough dorkiness there. Patty's like the dorkiest one in that podcast, and that's the craziest thing to me. But no, I love riffing it with those guys. I think it would be a good time. It probably wouldn't. We'd probably be able to talk about some pretty productive stuff, but I think at the end of the day, we'd be making a lot of dick jokes or something. Something stupid.
Hey, dick jokes get you a lot of subscribers on Patreon if you're the Yard. So
if you are the Yard,
that's
come.
The meta.
They say come a lot on that show. Cassie, my girlfriend, loves that show. We're a patron now because she's like, we're out of episodes to listen to, honey, and we have an 1.5-hour drive. Like, Patreon? Yes. Let's do it.
I feel like that's something very valuable that you might be able to like. We should just get you on the Yard. We should just skip Alston Melee podcast and get you straight into the Yard because they'll be like, a female gamer listens to us. That's pretty pog champ.
I've already told Slime. He loves it. I'm pretty good friends with all 4 of those guys.
No big deal.
Everyone but Ludwig follows me on Twitter, but Ludwig follows me on Instagram. And I want to go to main stage because I want to see those guys again. I haven't seen them in forever. It's been since the last main stage. So main stage 2019.
Yeah.
I got flown out by IBDW because he got into Summit. It was a whole weird what's the term I'm looking for? Not monkey hole, rabbit hole to go down. He needed New England support. He didn't really have a New England connection. I was the New England connection. I helped bring New England together to help vote IBDW into Summit. That very Summit, he beats Hungry Box, gets, pops off, goes crazy, becomes a top player after that.
Saves his career. I mean, he's frequently said if he didn't play as well as he did at that Summit, he wouldn't be playing Melee right now. No Riptide champ. That would be so sad.
No Riptide champ. Yep. And a lot. I mean, New England gave him a shit ton of votes, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the exact number, but I know New England gave him a fucking chunk because we didn't have a good candidate for that year. So we were like, let's just send Cody. Cody's sick. Hell yeah. And then because of that, he was like, let me repay you. Please let me repay you. And I was like, what are you thinking? And he's like, how about a paid trip to main stage there and back with free housing? I was like, that sounds dope. What the fuck? Where would I be getting housed? He's like, with Slime and like at that house, at the Ludwig house. I was like, what? I was like, really? With those guys? And again, little fun fact, I ran Ludwig's first Melee tournament ever, I'm pretty sure. Unless he had one at like some Exeter house, like where he lived in New Hampshire, like local tournament. I ran his first tournament ever.
No big deal.
Yeah, I know, right? No big deal. And it was so crazy too, because that tournament was called Game Castle. and that was typically a G-Town Tom run tournament. But that specific weekend, it was a monthly. That specific weekend, he had something else to do, so I was the one that ran it because I was still a big TO at the time, and that was when we all first met Ludwig. And then he showed up, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm Ludwig. Like, play Puff. Come, cool." I'm like, "Cool, cool." And then he came to a couple more tournaments, and then just disappeared. And then he popped up out of nowhere on Bad Melee, and now he's one of the biggest Twitch streamers ever.
Ever to do it.
Literally crazy. So fucking crazy. But anyway, I stayed at their house. It was dope. I really want to go back. Me and Slime and Nick and Aiden and all of them and Ludwig are you know, from my perspective, we're tight. Obviously, it's a different perspective from everybody's perspective. But I like those guys. I had a good time with those guys. Every single interaction I had with them has been amazing.
It's a matter of being in like the same room, right? There's just so much happening. You still got to be in the same room, and then it all comes back. Like it's all
exactly. Yeah. Even if we don't talk every day, it's like I still hit them up every now and then. Hey, Aiden, how you doing? Me and Aiden are supposed to play Netplay sometime.
Sometime.
Anyway. I really want to go. I want to try to go to main stage or Genesis or big, so that I can bring Cassie to a major, have it be her first major, and I really want her to meet some of the Yard boys because she really likes the Yard, and she always geeks about it because I'm friends with them. And I'm like, honey, let's go meet them because they're great. They're really, really fucking funny. They're really nice people. It would be a dope time, and I'm sure they would love you too. So
that would be awesome.
And you know, if I was there and I could go, maybe I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? Let me pop on the pod. And that's and I thought about it. I'm like, the odds are actually like 0.01%, but that's not zero. You know what I mean? It's not zero, but I don't have a big name, so it's hard for them to justify putting it on a huge podcast like that.
But what if it's like you're up there sitting in a chair and you're like, I mean, I'm just chilling.
I might as well. I would definitely take a picture. I would definitely take pictures. I'll take a video. I'll do my own little like 20-second podcast up there, and I'll just like do a shitty version of their jingle, and then I'll just say "come," and then I'll have it be the end. It'll be perfect. I'll be like, message Aiden and come, and then just end podcast.
That'd be awesome. Here's how I'll tie up our time together, because I would love to spend 3 more hours. Like Matt Dobbs said, and I accidentally spent almost 3 hours talking and recording. But for me to tie us all up, I still have someone who was nice about it when they would beat me down pretty hard in Melee, because I didn't know how to do anything, as I still to this day don't really know how to do a whole lot in Melee. I want to, but I'm also busy, and you get it. So when I think about getting better, I think about beating that person, my cousin, like 5-ish years older than me, the person who I never was able to beat in Melee specifically. I would, no matter how, I didn't own the game, so I would just watch videos. I would study like the frame data stuff that was available at the time, like, you know, mostly based off of Mewtwo King stuff that he put out on Smashboard.
Yeah, literally so crazy.
And I would just try really hard to think about how I would go about beating him, and then we'd go down to Maryland, where they lived, from Lancaster, PA, so about an hour and a half away, and I would lose nearly every single game and maybe squeak one out by accident, but that didn't count to me. I was like,
it's still horrific in your mind.
Yes. So like I know exactly what you're talking about, but I haven't had that. I haven't flown yet. I need to fly. And hearing you talk about that story just makes me really want to fly again.
So flying is very nice, and flying is going to happen to you. You have a lot more priorities on your plate than I did when I was learning how to fly. You have a child and a full-time job and a wife. Like you have 2 kids. Holy shit. Yeah, you have a lot going on. But the dope thing is that you are in a beautiful era that has a lot of resources available to it. So your practice, if spent efficiently, like the time you spend practicing, if you spend it efficiently with learning general concepts and learning neutral and learning like watching for me, I would say like watching an IBDW lesson or watching fiction lessons or drugged fox lessons, whatever's available on YouTube that you can publicly find.
Bunch of fiction lessons. He puts them up on YouTube. He just puts
Yeah,
them up.
that's amazing.
Giving them
Yeah,
away.
fiction. Yeah. Same with drugged fox. I think there's at least a few that have been re-uploaded publicly.
Yep.
The general concepts that you will learn in those are going to last you a lifetime of Melee. So the earlier you learn those, the better off you'll be and the easier it'll be for you to start flying. So again, practice efficiently and you'll be fine. Because like I said earlier, it's a marathon, not a race. We're not racing for anything at this point. We're all just sitting back and enjoying the ride while we still can, while Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is still looks like clay, whatever. Point being,
I have theories about that.
You can absolutely fly, Jesse. I know you can. I can feel it. Yeah, I can, because you were getting goosebumps too, so you know that feeling that I'm talking about. So all you have to do is not okay, Bushido warrior mentality. That's it. That's all I have to say. Is just Bushido warrior mentality. You do not win, you do not lose. You are simply learning and improving. You are honing your craft, you are honing your skills. That's all you're doing. And that's all you continue to do. And then when you play against someone else, you are just showing them your skills. You are showing, okay, here is the fruits of my labor, right? You just lay it on the table, because at the end of the day, especially as I have gotten better at the game and I start to get to like higher end parts of bracket and I'm playing better players, no one cares about how you play, really. Just get your 3. Get your 3 games. Doesn't matter how you get your 3 games. It could be 3-2. It could be 3-1. If it's a best of 5, if it's a best of 3, just get your 2. You know what I mean?
You get it. Yep.
You get it. Get your 3. High level players, you get it. Get your 3. That's it. Just all you have to focus on is getting your 3 and Bushido warrior mentality. Like, that's it. And I know that sounds so stupid and simple coming from like a different perspective, because I've already been through the mud and the dirt and all that with like figuring out that is honestly all it is. It's just Bushido warrior mentality. Don't get upset when you lose, because someone has to lose at the end of the day. Respect your opponent and just play to learn. The game is sick. Don't ever forget about how fucking sick this game is. I nearly forgot about how sick this game was before this podcast. Thank you, Jesse, for having me on here so that I could remember why I loved this game and why this game is sick to me. Because past couple of weeks have not been great for me Melee-wise, and I've been having a lot of doubts. Thank you.
It helps. To talk about the game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There have been conversations that I feel like I have with somebody, and then I see them do something amazing. So I'm not going to take credit. I never try to post on Twitter and be like, over here kind of a thing. But it makes me feel like it's like a teammate sort of a thing, where it's like seeing somebody succeed. Like, I'm not jealous of them or anything. Like, I actually do genuinely feel happy for them. So if I see
you're rooting for your boy,
if you win your next tournament, and I know you can, I know you have, I know you will,
let's go.
That would be awesome to see that. And
let's go.
I really hope that you can figure out all of your health
I'll be fine.
health.
I feel great
right now.
I've been going for about a month now, and yeah, the improvement has been absolutely incredible. The slope up has been amazing. So,
awesome.
Been feeling great. Everything's been looking good. I have a new job interview in the next 3 days for a senior it is senior point of sales activation specialist at DoorDash. It would be a full-time remote office job, so I would get to work from home full-time, which would be freaking sick. So ideally, if I can nail this job, nail fixing my hands, nail my mental health, and then I don't know, maybe fix my back. It's a little hurt. Got a bad back, maybe.
Maybe get out to a West Coast major or 2.
West Coast major or 2. I could be Mango and I could be on the yard. I could do it all. I could win Summit. Give me a minimum. Give me a minimum of 10 years, and I could win a Summit.
We need another Nick Yingling for Smash Summit 12.
it's so fucked up. I was at Yingling's house like 3 weeks before Summit. I was literally at his house. Me and my girlfriend went to Arizona for a week on vacation, and the 1 week that I'm there, I feel awful the morning of. I throw up a bunch the morning of our flight. Up at 4 a.m, I'm feeling terrible. Cannot even get out of bed. Get dragged to the airport, get on the flight, pass out. I wake up. We go to Ty, the Marth player from Arizona. We go to Ty's house. We pick up a rental car. We get Raising Cane's because my girlfriend really wanted Raising Cane's, and then we go to Ty's house. And I start playing Ty again. I'd thrown up. I had been sick the whole day, passed out. I have nothing in my system but Raising Cane's at this point. And I started four-stalking Ty in his house in front of my girlfriend. And I was like, what is happening right now? We have our vacation. To end the vacation, we go to Nick Yingling's house. We start playing. Ty shows up. Ty four-stalks me in front of my girlfriend. I was like, you fucking rat. You little bastard. So... I actually got to formally meet him, Nick Yingling, like a couple weeks before that whole Summit run, and I'm not gonna lie, bro, I would fucking schmuck up Nick Yingling right now. Nick Yingling, if you ever listen to this, I would rock your world in a best of 5. I would. Oh my god. Everybody in the room would think they would have COVID because they couldn't smell the cum on your back. They wouldn't be able to. They'd go, is there a comeback? And then you would go, no, I can't smell it. I can't smell anything. And then boom, everybody's sick with it because I'm so nasty. All right. This is great, Jesse. I just want to say this is amazing.
I had lots of fun. The gauntlet's been laid. We got to talk about some Melee. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck with the job interview.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Tell the missus to have a wonderful night. You get some sleep. Thank you for having me on.